thin lips, piercing gaze, like raptors, hardly inviting, hardly an image to say, "Please, do come hear me speak. Would love to see you there." More like, "Make no mistake, I know a lot more than you do. You should listen to me. Maybe then you'll know what's what." A woman introduces him, the head of the department that has invited him to speak. She is a familiar type, the glam academic, the intellectual vamp. Someone at pains for it to be known that, although smart and well-educated, although a feminist and a woman in a position of power, the lady is no frump, no boring nerd, no sexless harridan. And so what if she's past a certain age? The cling of the skirt, the height of the heels, the scarlet mouth and tinted hair. I once heard a salon colorist say, "I believe it's got to hurt a woman's ability to think if she has gray hair." Everything says, "I'm still fuckable." A slimness that almost certainly means going much of each day feeling hungry. It crosses such women's minds with some sad regularity that, in France, intellectuals can be sex symbols, even if the symbol can sometimes be embarrassing. Bernard-Henri Lévy and his unbuttoned shirts. These women have memories of being tormented in girlhood, not for their looks, but for their brains. Men don't make passes at girls who wear glasses really meant smart girls, bookish girls, mathletes, and science geeks. Times change. Now, who doesn't love eyewear? Now, how common is it to hear a man boast about his attraction to smart women? Or, as one young actor recently shared, "I've always felt that the sexiest women are the ones with the biggest brains." At which I confess I rolled my eyes so hard that I had to toss my head to get them to come down again. It cannot possibly be true, can it? The story about Toscanini losing patience during a rehearsal with a soprano, grabbing her large breasts and crying, "If only these were brains." Later came, "Men don't make passes at girls with fat asses." I can see them, this man and this woman, at the department dinner that will surely follow the event, and which, because of who he is, will be a fine one, at one of the area's most expensive restaurants, and where it's likely they'll be seated next to each other. And of course, the woman will be hoping for some intense conversation, no small talk. Maybe even a bit of flirtation. But this will turn out to be not so easy, given how his attention keeps straying to the far end of the table, to the grad student who's been assigned as his escort, responsible for shuttling him from place to place, including, after tonight's dinner, back to his hotel, and who, after just one glass of wine, is responding to his frequent glances with increasingly bold ones of her own. It looks like it might be true. I Googled it. According to some reports, though, he didn't actually grab the soprano's breasts, but only pointed at them. During the obligatory recitation of the speaker's accomplishments, the man lowers his gaze and assumes a grimace of discomfort in an affection of modesty that I doubt fools anyone. If grades had depended more on how much I absorbed from lectures than from studying texts, I'd have failed out of school. I don't often lose concentration when I'm reading something or listening to a person converse, but talks of any kind have always given me trouble, the worst being authors reading from their own work. My mind starts wandering almost as soon as the speaker gets started. Also, this particular evening, I was unusually distracted. I had spent all afternoon in the hospital with my friend. I was wrung out from watching her suffer, and from trying not to let my dismay at her condition get the better of me and become obvious to her. Dealing with illness. I've never been good at that, either. So my mind wandered. It wandered right from the start. I lost the thread of the talk several times, but it hardly mattered, because the man's talk was based on a long article he had written for a magazine, and I had read the article when it came out. I had read it, and everyone I knew...